got Wepner, you got Foreman, of course, you got Frazier. Who's on the horizon?
Well, I'm going off the horizon, so it won't take much to beat me in a few more years. I've been a little too elderly. I've been in the game too long. And we really don't know who's on the horizon. Somebody's on, and he'll have to prove himself by beating somebody. I beat Liston to prove who I was. Frazier came up and beat a few top fellas before he fought me. Then he beat me, and that made him. And like George Foreman was a nobody, and all of a sudden he knocked out Foreman. So these fellas just come up from nowhere. They might be out there, but we don't know where they're at until one of them do something striking one day.
You know, a lot of people think that you've been so dominant in boxing the last 10 years that when you leave, boxing dies.
Boxing won't die, but it will slow down, and the people won't look at it like they do now. But when my generation gets old, as I get old, then the younger ones who are coming up now won't remember me, so they'll have another fellow they follow.
No way they're going to forget you.
I'll be in the history books, but they'll forget gradually, or they'll read about me. So we don't forget Abraham Lincoln or George Washington or these great men or Napoleon, but every so often we mention them, but they're not hot news like they were at one time.
You know, we see how athletes and athletics continue to improve, better food, better training conditions. And as I go back again, I remember the conditions under which you trained in Miami, see what you've got here. Perfect place to get your body ready for a fight. Do you think all these things combine that there will be a greater heavyweight champion than Muhammad Ali in the future?
It's possible, but like records always been broke, and it looks like Babe Ruth's record couldn't, and the track of Jesse Owens, and I think if one beat my record, he would have to do a lot of work. I'm sure he can. I mean, I've gone to places like fought in Africa and Japan and Dublin, Ireland, and Zurich, Switzerland. I've met with kings of Africa, Asia, Arabia, and Europe, and I've done so many firsts until I think if somebody beat it, they'll have to be real good, but I can't say it can't be done.
No, in boxing, I remember in baseball I used to develop a particular hate for a pitcher, like Drysdale used to throw at me all the time. I wonder, in boxing, do you have that animosity toward the guy you're boxing, or is it simply a job you've got to do? Do you develop a particular...
Just a job. Never get angry or really hate nobody. You lose your mind, and you can't think straight, and your judgment is off. No sense of time and coordination. You never really get to really not like nobody, you know. Maybe as a kid, the fella took your girlfriend from you, did something bad, and you might be mad at somebody, but grown-ups don't really be angry. And I mean, I see ice hockey players fighting each other with clubs, and then an hour later they say, I'm sorry, I blew my cool. You don't really stay mad at nobody. I'm never really angry at an opponent. I've had people like Floyd Patterson who wouldn't call me my name and still don't today. Muhammad Ali's insist on saying Cassius Clay, who I wanted to punish, and I wanted to get him for that reason, but not really personally not liking him. Just publicly whoop him and disgrace him for certain things he might do or have done. But I never really dislike nobody or be angry out to beat up nobody. You know, it's just a job and you want to win, and that's it.
Muhammad Ali's nemesis in the ring was Joe Frazier, who in 1971 handed Ali his first ever professional defeat. 3 years later, Ali beat Frazier in a rematch, and in 1975, their third meeting made sporting history as the Thrilla in Manila. Joe Frazier was a boxing powerhouse. Ali, on the other hand,
is the epitome of style. He has fast hands, fast feet, and a fast mouth.
Get here, Ali, because Joe Frazier might sit down before you do. I'm the prettiest, I'm the greatest fighter of all time. The world will know.
Ali, of course, is the favorite, just as he has been the favorite of the Filipino people. His dispute with his wife, Belinda, over the presence of a traveling companion named Veronica got him more attention than all the pre-fight training and all the pre-fight words of Joe Frazier. It has been more than a decade since Ali first became champion of the world. The age of Ali will end someday, but probably not today. In Manila, Dick Schaap, NBC News.
the age of Ali did not end that day. Ali beat Frazier in an epic 15 rounds. 2.5 years later, it was a different story.
Ken Denlinger in the Washington Post this morning wrote that in the fight last night, Muhammad Ali needed the feet of clay. that is Cassius Clay, the name he went by when he was young. He needed the strength of his youth. He didn't have it, and to the surprise and disappointment of almost everybody, he lost to a young fighter barely known, Leon Spinks. Here's Don Harris.
As the 15th round ended, Muhammad Ali seemed to know that his 36 years had caught up with him, seemed to know he had lost. The decision and the championship went to Leon Spinks. As the crowd poured into the ring, Spinks pushed through to his mother. Spinks won the title from a man who has been his idol, a man he still calls the greatest. Ali handled his defeat with a style that even his critics have to admire.
Well, I trained hard for the fight, and I feel that I was really ready for it.
I know you would.
Thank you. Prove them all wrong. If I fought Sonny Liston, I upset the world, and you upset the world too. That's what it is.